And I will mute. Emmanuel, can you please mute yourself? This time I remember. See, Gershom? I'm not. תודה, עמנואל. רבקה, את יכולה גם לעשות בבקשה מיוט? וגם שרון. פשוט שלא יהיה רעשי רקע. Okay, so last time, as you know, we read number 17. 17, it was right. And I think I think I have a feeling that the finishing was not so, let's close the chapter. Also, since Mordechai reminded us the verse from chapter 26 that talks about the fate of Korach. So let's see. First of all, this is the arrangement or setting or something like that of the tents of the tribes, and in the middle there is the tabernacle, and you can see that Bnei Kehat, yes, the Kehat family, are in the same. Well, the Levi are surrounded the tabernacle around the tabernacle, but Kehat are quite close to Reuven tribe. Okay, so we can think of connections, talking, and all kinds of, like what we said last time, that there were probably many things, many people that were angry on many different things. So they could, and of course I think we have to remember all the time that it is a huge area. Actually, it's a huge area. We have to, the illustration here, you see one tent here and one here, but I always have to remind myself that we are talking about something like 2 million people. It's a huge area. Okay, so and let's read the verses of the fate of Korach, and maybe Ruth, can you, or you want to eat first? That's okay. This is your morning now, right? Ken, so unmute yourself, and if you can.
Okay, I can read.
Okay, so it's, yes, number 26.
And it came to pass after the plague that the Lord spoke unto Moses and unto Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saying, and the sons of Eliab, Nemuel, and Datan, and Abiram. These are that Datan and Abiram, the elect of the congregation, who strove against Moses and against Aaron in the company of Korah, when they strove against the Lord. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up together with Korah when that company died. What time the fire devoured 250 men, and they became a sign. Notwithstanding, the sons of Korah died not.
Okay, so it is about that, and we can see that in Tehillim, yes, in Psalms, we have 11 out of 150 Psalms of the book of Tehillim. We have 11 Psalms regarded as of the sons of Korah. Okay, Gershom, can you read this? Only the 3 verses here.
A psalm of the sons of Korah, a song. His foundation is in the holy mountains. A song, a psalm of the sons of Korah.
Here.
And for the leader, a psalm of the sons of Korah upon Alamot, a song.
Okay, thank you. So and there are 11. I did it. So so this is well settled. How can we say it? Okay, now we will read. I know that we already read a part of number 17, but there are a few issues that we haven't spoken, and I really want us to talk about. Gershom, can you continue here? 6 until 10.
Okay. But on the morrow, all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, saying, "Ye have killed the people of the Lord." And it came to pass, when the congregation was assembled against Moses and against Aaron, that they looked toward the tent of meeting, and behold, the cloud covered it, and the glory of the Lord appeared. And Moses and Aaron came to the front of the tent of meeting, and the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, "Get you up from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment." And they fell upon their faces.
Okay, and now please continue. And this is only for, to remind ourselves what happened here, because at that Bnei Israel, the people didn't stop. Then, what we said about it, that they were terrified. I mean, all this, just imagine the atmosphere, the feelings. Hundreds were dead, and the frightening thing of the earth open its mouth and all that. And they continue to murmur. Okay, so please continue 11 until here, until 15.
Okay. And Moses said unto Aaron, "Take thy fire pan and put fire therein from off the altar, and lay incense thereon, and carry it quickly unto the congregation, and make atonement for them. For there is wrath gone out from the Lord, the plague is begun." And Aaron took as Moses spoke, and ran into the midst of the assembly. And behold, the plague was begun among the people. And he put on the incense and made atonement for the people. And he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stayed. Now they that died by the plague were 14,700, besides them that died about the matter of Korah. And Aaron returned unto Moses unto the door of the tent of meeting, and the plague was stayed.
Thank you. So what I wanted that we see here is the amount of verbs. The amount of verbs. Now, every time that we have in the Bible 1 or 2 sentences that come together with many verbs, we know that there is something very hasty, and hasty is bahul. Something, Sharon, bahul, hasty. Something hasty here. Look at number 11. It's about Moses, and number 12 is what Aaron does after what Moses told him. Now look at the rushing, or Moses said to Aaron, "Take and put and lay and carry and make." He is in stress. He's frightening that the key, and look at here, "Ki yatsa haketsef milifnei Adonai echel hanegev." He's really, he's scared. He's scared that everybody will die because of the plague. Okay, so this is how the text shows us this atmosphere, or this. And again in 12, Aaron, and in Aaron, it's even worse, because he took and then ran. It's not, he didn't walk. He ran. He made atonement. Everything is in action here. Okay. And then he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stayed. This is something that later Chazal said, something that shows his courage. I mean, he got into the middle of the dead people, and in order to stop the plague. Okay. Anything you want to say about this? You know, I have I've taught a class in the high school about the stealing of the Bechorah. When Jacob stole the Bechorah, not the Bechorah, the blessing from his brother, and he had to cheat, as we all know the story. He had to cheat his father, and his mother also, Rivka. There is a paragraph with many verbs. If you will read it, Rivka, after she heard what Yitzhak said to Esav, she said, "Listen, take this and bring me this and bring this then and then." Okay, she is very. It shows by the amount of verbs. You want to say something about this? Any comment?
Yaakov, there is written about him, Vayelech, Vayikach, Vayaveh, because he was afraid to lie his father. So because there are so many verbs there.
Yes, but I was talking about the paragraph. It's not our topic today, but just it reminded me because of the
urgency.
Popularity, the urgency. Yes, thank you. This is the word I've been looking for. The urgency of the thing. Everything should be very fast, and there are many things to do and fast. And so it was with Rivka, and here it's also. Okay.
Yes, I want to say about this chapter. I think it's very terrible punishment about the people of Israel just Vailonu al Moshe because the killing of Korach and his group, and they didn't did anything catastrophically or something.
Avodah Zarah. They didn't do any Avodah Zarah.
Yes, not Avodah Zarah and not other signs, and it's
very cruel.
Punishment.
Yes, I think it's normally we have this when someone or some people did the Avodah Zarah, and here they didn't. Yes, it's okay. So there, and then we have this high number of dead people, like Gershom read and Yossi commented. Now, from the text doesn't tell us from which tribe there was the dead people. I mean, the people who were dead. Okay, from which tribe it was. But we can see in chapter number 26, we have a census. We have two main census in Bamidbar. We have in number 1 and 26. And it's very interesting to compare the numbers, okay, of the tribes. So I try to do it and look what I found. Okay, the census of the tribe, a comparison between Numbers chapter 1 and Numbers chapter 26. Now, the blue column is number 1, and the orange column is number 26. Okay. Now I arranged it according to tribes that the tribe that the number went up are here, because according to the I don't know, we can think that the tribe they have children, they have more and more people, right? So if anything nothing goes wrong. So these are the tribes: Yehuda, Dan, Zvulun, Issachar, Binyamin, Asher, Menashe. When Yehuda almost didn't change the number, and also Dan. but for look at Menashe, he almost he more than doubled itself, and Asher and Binyamin. Okay. Now look here. The tribe that went, the number went really, really down. Reuven a little bit down. Gad, Naphtali, Ephraim, and Shimon. Look at Shimon. Almost half, about less than half. Okay.
Ora, just
Yeah.
to be picky about your numbers for a moment, remember that your baseline is 20,000 there. So
Yes, yes,
that's
I know.
comparing to zero.
I know. I did it in purpose. And thank you for noticing. In the beginning it was zero, but I just wanted to emphasize it's a trick that we are doing in.
But when you're talking about things doubling and stuff,
science, it's a trick when you want to show a big difference. You don't start in zero. You start in the.
Right.
So,
but you can't assume that something's double because it's double its size or something.
No. But it is. Look, it's 22,000.
Right.
And
that
it's
one.
almost 60. Yeah. No. You're right, but I just wanted to to emphasize it.
I understand.
Not to cheat
Not a
you.
problem. I'll let it go.
Okay. So, and this is also a 32 and I said this anyway. You understood what I meant, and here we can see this is only the differences, okay, not the absolute differences, and we can see that it's exactly this, but only the gaps, the differences. So we can see that the negative change here with Shimon and Ephraim, and the positive changes here. Okay, and we also there were tribes that almost weren't changed. And I was surprised when I did it that Reuven almost didn't change at all. I would suspect that Reuven will be, I don't know, much smaller, this column. But anyway, this is the numbers. These are the numbers. Any comment you want to say?
Did you have any idea why this happened for Bnei Shimon, that they are most of the...
Yeah. Only...
was near Reuven in the...
רגע, בוא נראה.
שמעון היה מקולל. אולי
זהו.
בגלל זה הוא לא גדל.
הנה שמעון. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Shimon was here, near Reuven, and near these are the troublemakers. Only what like what Rivka said about the blessing, not blessing, what their father said about them, and what they did, and what they did with Dinah. Okay, Shimon and Levi, what they did with Dinah.
כן.
Levi became, I don't know, became holy. But Shimon stayed.
Yes, and Yehuda also didn't change. He was blessing. Yehuda always blessing.
Stayed approximately the same. Yes, approximately. But and we can also see which is the biggest tribe here. Okay, Yehuda is the biggest tribe. Okay, and here after all what happened, Shimon is the smallest.
Oh, and the Levi don't count in this?
No, Levi isn't. No, they didn't say, because Levi has a separated census for himself.
From the other.
Because of its role in
the second time of counting Israel, the Levi didn't count. There is no another count of Levi tribes.
No, there is a separated count, but I didn't put it here. I'm not sure. I had this. I don't know about Levi, but I know that in Aleph, in number 1, Levi was counted separately.
Levi served Moshe. לוי היו משרתים של האחרים, הם לא נחשבו, לא נענשו ולא גורחו.
כן, אבל עם בני כוח and his group, there was also Levi from Levi tribes. It's not just Reuven.
Yeah. Let's see it. Okay, we can check it next time. I mean, we can, you know what, if we'll have time in the end of the lesson, we can go and try to check it. Because, yeah, I just remember that Levi, if you remember in number 1, is counted by not from 20 years old, but from 1 month year old. I see that Adina is checking something. Did you find something, Adina?
I'm checking in Vizot HaBracha. I'm checking because I was trying to remember in Vizot HaBracha, Yaakov gives a blessing to each tribe, to each son, except one. And I was checking to see which one was left out. That's what I'm. What?
זאת הברכה זה משה, ויחי את יעקב.
כן, זהו, זאת הברכה, זה סוף ספר.
Oh, Moshe gets the blessing. Okay, Moshe. That's the one I'm trying.
כן. ויחי, it's I think number 40 in Genesis.
Right. No, I'm thinking of the Zot HaBracha. It was Moshe.
זאת הברכה.
My husband.
In the end.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 6, 7. Wait a second. 8, 9, 10. Okay. But I'm not seeing Shimon here in the blessings. Where's it? And George, you know which one was who was left out? In Vizot HaBracha?
I don't think Shimon is. It's the only.
No, I'm only counting 10. Wait a minute. Okay.
It's possible that they included only the ones who passed over to Jordan.
Right. Okay. Asher, Naphtali, Dan, Gad. That's 4. Zulun, Yosef, Binyamin, Levi, Yehuda.
Yosef is 2.
Yosef, yeah, Yosef is 2. But okay, Shimon is not here. And I'm looking to see, there has to be one more that's not there.
לוי ויוסף יצאו, במקומם נכנסו מנשה, נפתלי ומנשה, אם זה מה ש...
כן, לא, אבל זה לא מה שמך.
No, Ephraim and Menashe are here. And, okay. Now I'm blanking on names. Okay. Reuven is there, Yehuda, Levi, Binyamin, Yosef, Zulun, Gad, Dan, Naphtali, Asher. That's it. I think that's the last one. So Shimon is not there. Issachar. Issachar is also not there.
Are you sure?
I'm looking, I'm not finding. Okay. Of course, it would probably be better if I looked in the Hebrew, but I'm looking at the Vizot HaBracha. And I was just thinking that because, looking, if Shimon was so reduced in population.
Yes, so but in this time I also checked about what Yossi asked. No, Levi is not counted in 26, and it was counted separately, as I said, in number 1. Now about Reuven, I think I understood why this is a small difference, because they talk only about the 250 that fell in the ground. Okay. You want to continue checking something, Adina? Or to...
No, I'm just saying, I was just checking in Vizota Bracha, and I don't find Issachar, and I don't find
Yes.
Shimon. I thought only one was left out, but I'm not finding Issachar here either.
Okay.
I just thought of that because of the population decrease in Shimon, and I'm wondering, I always wondered in Vizota Bracha why all of the tribes were not there in the blessing.
Yes, yes.
So
Okay,
maybe this is why Shimon is not there.
Yeah, okay. Okay, let's move on, okay?
Sorry for the tangent there.
That's okay, I also checked, I also had time to check about Levi and it's interesting anyway. Sharon, would you like to read, please, 16 to till 20?
And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and take of them rods, one for each father's house, of all their princes according to their father's houses, 12 rods. Thou shalt write every man's name upon this rod. And thou shalt write Aaron's name upon the rod of Levi, for there shall be one rod for the head of their father's houses. And thou shalt lay them up in the tent of meeting before the testimony where I meet with you. And it shall come to pass that the man whom I shall choose, his rod shall bud, and I will make to cease from me the murmurings of the children of Israel, which they murmur against you.
Thank you. Now, does this remind you something? In previous chapter, yes, in 16, we had the same, almost, well, not exactly the same, but the same test in its meaning. Compare, I think I didn't put it here, but chapter 16, 5 to 7. Can someone open and read to us? 5 to 7. It's quite exactly the. כן, לא שמתי את זה פה. It's again a test, magical test in order to show that Aaron is the chosen one.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah, that's
Adina, you have it?
yeah, I do.
So can you
Okay.
read it?
Then he spoke to Korach and all his company, saying, Come morning, the Lord will make known who is his and who is holy, and will grant him access to himself. He will grant access to the one he has chosen. Do this, you, Korach, and all your band. Take fire pans, and tomorrow put fire in them, and lay incense on them before the Lord. Then the man whom the Lord chooses, he shall be the Holy One. You have gone too far, sons of Levi.
Yeah, thank you. So why do you think he did another test? I mean, Aaron was chosen, and he did maybe we'll see the result of the test. Sharon, can you read also the
I just want to say, I just found Issachar in the blessing. There's been one in the paragraph.
The last one.
But Shimon is not there.
Ah.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
Shimon is a troublemaker. So.
Yeah, Shimon is. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Shimon was when they gave the lands. Shimon was like inside Yehuda to keep him. It's like a big brother and a troublemaker brother. So Shimon was inside. Okay, so Sharon, can you read 21 to 23, please?
Sure. And Moses spoke unto the children of Israel, and all their princes gave him rods, for each prince one, according to their father's houses, even 12 rods, and the rod of Aaron was among their rods. And Moses laid up the rods before the Lord in the tent of the testimony. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses went into the tent of the testimony, and behold, the rod of Aaron for the house of Levi was budded, and put forth buds, and bloomed blossoms, and bore ripe almonds.
Thank you. Very nice. This test much nicer than the other one. אוקיי, רבקה, את יכולה לקרוא את פסוק 23 בעברית? בגלל there is a slight interesting issue.
ויהי ממחרת, ויבוא משה אל אוהל העדות, והנה פרח משה...
מטה.
פרח מטה אהרון לבית לוי, ויוצא פרח ויציץ ציץ, ויגמול שקדים.
Okay, so according to Bible language, it's like a poem, okay? ויוצא פרח, ויוצא פרח, ויצא ציץ, it's like written. But look, there is something interesting, and Yossi, you are the expert here. ויוצא פרח, normally, we have a bud normally, bud זה ניצן, נכון, שרון? A bud זה ניצן, נכון? Normally we have first the bud, the ניצן, and then פרח. But here it says, ויוצא פרח, ויצא ציץ, ויגמול שקדים. Now look how the translation goes. Maybe in your books it is different. Put forth buds, which is not written in Hebrew, and bloomed blossoms, and bore ripe almonds. Okay, they took ויוצא פרח, ויצא ציץ, and הפכו את הסדר. שרון תעזרי לי. And they put it the other way.
The arrangement.
Okay.
Change the arrangement.
They changed the arrangement. Yeah. First, I would suggest that first of all, it should be ויצא ציץ, and then ויוצא פרח. I mean, the English translation makes sense according to the biology and the botanical issue, but the Hebrew doesn't. So what Rashi says about it, that ויצא ציץ, because before that I will say that we are talking about almonds. Now, you know, almonds is the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful tree, okay, here, that blossoms before it has leaves even. והשקדיה פורחת, very early in the season, right? Something very that symbolize the spring. Excuse me. Sorry. Now, but there is a long time between the blossom of the almond and the fruit. Normally, it's not so long, but in this case, it's very long. So what Rashi says, because of this long time, the tzitz here is the beginning of only the beginning of the fruit, and not the bud. Okay, and this because he also tzitz normally it is a bud, nitzan, and it goes the other way around, and this is how he explained it. But I just wanted to show you the interesting issue, and we have the same wording in other places. רגע, שרון, בואי תמשיכי את הציטוטים, ואחר כך נעבור למישהו אחר. מישעיהו, chapter 27.
In days to come shall Jacob take root, Israel shall blossom and bud, and the face of the world shall be filled with fruitage. A psalm, a song for the Sabbath day. A brutish man knoweth not, neither doth a fool understand this. When the wicked spring up as the grass, and when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they may be destroyed forever.
Thank you. This is actually,
I don't see the connection.
As this is actually what we're saying every קבלת שבת. כמו שיר ביום השבת, איש בר לא ידע וכסיל לא יבין את זאת, בפרוח רשעים כמו עשב ויציתו כל פעלי האבן. אוקיי? הקשר הוא in the wording of yatzitz ufarach. And look here, the sequence of the verbs in Hebrew is correct, but the verb in English is the other way around. Blossom and bud. Okay. And we have another thing in יחזקאל. Can you, שרון, רק תסיימי פה את זה וזהו. Behold the day.
Behold the day, behold it cometh. The turn is come forth, the rod hath blossomed, arrogancy has budded.
Yes, here it is poetry. I mean, צץ המטה פרח הזדון, it's actually the same thing. It's like another different. Okay, and here is a nice illustration that I found about this. And okay, we can move on. Adina, would you like to read 24 until 28?
Oh, I have some remarks about the last chapter.
איפה? לחזור?
על הקודם, כן. All the tribes have one נציג, one person, but and here it's not a Levi tribe, it's just Aaron.
Yes.
Aaron that שמציג את Levi.
Yes, you're right. Absolutely. You understood what Yossi said? Every tribe has its rod and its natsig.
Representative.
Representative. But Levi has Aaron, and Aaron and the rod has borrowed the name of Aaron also. Bear, סליחה, לא ברור. נכון, נכון.
And Aaron is not representative of Levi, he's representative of himself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aaron is the representative of Levi, yes.
Yes.
But he's specifically Aaron and not any other representative. טוב, כן, נכון.
So you're saying the outcome is already determined in advance, that we say it was fixed, you know, who would win.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's only to show to the people that this is all magical ways. I mean, and to show how God is accepting Aaron and not anyone else, because of this miracle way. Okay.
There are a lot of things you could take from this verse and compare to the elections in both Haaretz and Arzot Abrit now.
Yeah, it's good that we don't have a rod that blossom. Yeah. Okay. Adina, can you continue? 24 until 28.
Okay. And Moses brought out all the rods from before the Lord unto all the children of Israel, and they looked and took every man his rod. And the Lord said unto Moses, put back the rod of Aaron before the testimony, to be kept there for a token against the rebellious children, that there may be made an end of their murmurings against me, that they die not. Thus did Moses, as the Lord commanded him, so did he. And the children of Israel spoke unto Moses, saying, behold, we perish, we are undone, we are all undone. Everyone that cometh near unto the tabernacle of the Lord is to die. Shall we wholly perish?
Yes. Look at something interesting about Toda, thank you. The two last verses. Look what they are saying. Also in Hebrew, it's very hard. And gavanu, avadnu, kulanu, avadnu. It's hard words. It's really hard meaning. They are afraid, and they are. What are they? What do you think? What are their feelings here?
I think they're panicking because they've already seen many thousands of people die in two different ways, and they're terrified that they will suffer the same fate.
Yes, exactly. And on top of that, they know, because they are after the spy story, and they know that they will not continue to survive, right? They will not, they will, I mean, they are, right, sorry, I forgot the word,
They're in despair.
In despair, yes. They are totally in despair. I mean, what what meaning of life do they have? What is their purpose of life? I mean, they saw so much death around, and a terrible death, and also,
Ora, how long is this after they actually left Egypt?
okay, so I think it's not. I mean, it's a bit difficult to say because wait a minute, Shemot and Har Sinai, it's 1 year, and then they had either it's 38 years or 2 years. I mean, they had been in the same place. This is how the people, the researchers think. They had been in the same place about 38 years and then went on.
So the memory of Egypt has already diminished a great deal.
According to where you weren't with us in the chapters before that, but according to the chapters, no, it's not true. They wanted to go back to. They even talk about Egypt, Eretz Zavat Chalav Udvash. They call it Eretz Zavat Chalav Udvash. Now, but they know now that they will not arrive to the promised land. No, they are, like you said, they are terrified, they are panicking. Now, look at this.
I think there is a time of weakness. All of them are weak, Halashim, despair and weak and tired. Even Moses, even the people, all of them are down. Yes. In this time of the story.
They are depressed, you mean? Yes.
Depressed, tired.
Yes, I think
not a good moment.
Yeah, I think it's
a bad moment for all of them.
Yeah, it's a very hard situation,
and they had no psychologist.
And also, I think, like Yossi said, it wasn't a real, a clear reason that they suffered like this. Apart from the spies. Okay, the spies were but here it wasn't. They complained. Okay, Korach was a reason, but then they continued to complain because they were terrified, and then they had this terrible plague. And something that I forgot to say is that the plague was stopped by Moses and Aaron. God didn't tell Moses, like usually he says, go and do this. and the plague will stop. It was all yozma, something that an act of Moses, of Israel.
Initiative.
Initiative. It was an initiative of Moses, not of God.
Or in chapter, not in chapter, in Pasuk
Because
25, it's written,
26.
"התחל תלונתם מעלי ולא ימותו."
And
And
the-
it's say that if you are complain, you can die.
in chapter כ"ו, ויעש משה כאשר ציווה אדוני אותו, כן קיבל הוראה.
No, yes, but it wasn't about the plague. We are after the plague. The plague was the initiative of Moses. Look here. You remember when we talked about the many verbs and all that? Vayomer Moshe, here. God says in 10, get you up from among this congregation that I may consume them. He has one plan in his head, if I can say his head. And in next verse, Moses is the active one here. Okay, Moses and then Aaron, but it wasn't a command of God. And it's, I mean, actually, it's a question. How come Moses did it without God permission? Anyway.
Order.
Okay, let's move on. Yes, so okay, so I think we will move on, and it's a very frightening story, actually. Okay, before we go on to the next chapter, 10:18, I wrote here, and I mean, I translated it from Olam HaTanakh, a short paragraph about the chapter, the next chapter. So let's read it. And Adina, if you can read it, you're most welcome to correct if anything in the English is incorrect. Can you see it well?
Yes, pretty well. The ritual responsibility for trespassing, and it's 1727 to 18:7. The Israelites who saw the death of their presidents in the tabernacle and the terrible plague that befell them were struck with panic and fear of the tabernacle and did not dare to approach it. To calm them down, they are given a promise that from now on, the priests and the Levites are the ones who will be responsible for harming the sanctity of the Mishkan. I'm not harming.
Not harming. Okay, so let's switch.
I'm not sure what, because harming is doing something bad.
Yes, I mean to
guard.
Guard.
To guard.
I didn't.
Guard. They're preserving. How about for preserving?
Damaging, maybe impairing. This is better.
Impair. Well, are they doing something bad to it?
Yes.
Oh, they are. Okay,
Yes.
then harming is fine if you're doing something bad.
Okay. I thought.
Okay. Okay, so the priests and the Levites are the one who will be responsible for harming the sanctity of the Mishkan. This responsibility is divided into 3 areas: priests and the sons of Kehat towards the Israelites, 18:1. Priests and Levites towards the Levites, 18:3, and priests towards themselves, 18:1. Later, a 4th area of responsibility of the Levites towards the Israelites is mentioned in 18:23. The responsibility of the priests and Levites ensures that there will be no more wrath on the Israelites.
Okay, this is what the whole
And
chapter.
responsible for harming the sanctity or the.
It still doesn't make
Okay,
sense.
okay. Let's move back to something that maybe you see here that we have twice the word that in Hebrew and in English
Yeah,
that comes near. Why it is?
yeah,
And also in Hebrew, kol hakarev hakarev.
yeah.
Now this doubling of the word
Mhm.
is to show that these people are did a trespassing to the sanctity, to the holy objects
Yeah,
of in the tabernacle.
yeah,
And this is why people die in this. I mean, the one who comes close to the sanctity will
Yeah.
die. And this is what Yossi said in 25, as he said, about verse 25, למשמרת לאות לבני מרי ותחל תלונותם מעלי ולא ימותו. I mean, if
Yeah.
they will not enter the sanctity, and if we will see it in the next chapter in 18, but we have a few times in the Bible that there is a verse, וכל הזר הקרב ימות, או יומת. כל הזר הקרב, מה זה זר? The common people, the one who is not a Kohen or not a Levi. Okay, so the entering the, also, you know, Nadav and Avihu, the sons of Aaron. למעשה, I mean, apparently it was not exactly because of the strange fire or the fire that they lit and they were not asked to lit, but בקרבתם לפני אדוני וימותו. We have it in Chukat, I think in Parashat Chukat. They went too close to Adonai. Okay, and this is why what I wanted to show here, because the chapter is, I don't know, it's a bit confusing, but we will see. I wanted to give you an הקדמה introduction to the fact that now the responsibility of the sanctity of the Mishkan goes on the Kohanim and Leviim.
Okay. Oh, I understand. So what's talking about, they will be responsible for any harm that comes to the sanctity of the Mishkan.
Yes.
So they won't be responsible for harming it. It's not their job to harm it. It's their job to protect it from harm, so that if any harm comes to it, it's their, they have the responsibility.
Yes, I will send
All right, I got it.
paragraph and you will correct my English.
I think, Ora, I think,
Thank you,
בבקשה, that the responsibility to.
I just looked at the first sentence of chapter 18, so then I understood what it was saying.
Okay.
אני יכולה, אורה? The responsibility of all the people, not of only the Kohanim and Levites. All the people is responsible of their life. If they approach the God, they will die. האחריות עוברת עליי, אם אתם רוצים לחיות, אל תתקרבו. אני רואה את זה,
You're right,
כוללת.
but the main responsible about the sanctity of the Mikdash or Mishkan are, from now on, are the Leviim and Kohanim. Now, if a common man in Israel, we have Kohen, Levi, and Israel, if a common Israel comes close to the Mikdash, to the Mishkan, he will die, but also the Levi that should keep the Mishkan. You understand? This is to take the responsibility. תישאו את עוון המקדש. You see, father's house. Let's start reading and okay, Adinia, please continue. 1, 2. רגע, Adinia, you read already, נכון?
Yes, I read. Yes.
You read here? You read the verses or you read only
Yes,
this?
yeah, I read those verses and I read this paragraph.
Okay, so what can you, it's back to you. Actually, you
I
read,
can read it. I'll read it from I'm looking at what's called the Stone edition, just to have some different language.
בסדר גמור. So it's 1, 2, 7.
Okay. Here we go. And they use the word Hashem.
Okay.
Hashem said to Aaron, you, your sons, and your father's household with you shall bear the iniquity of the sanctuary, and you and your sons with you shall bear the iniquity of your priesthood. Also, your brethren, the tribe of Levi, the tribe of your father, shall you draw near with you, and they shall be joined to you and minister to you. You and your sons with you shall be before the tent of testimony. They shall safeguard your charge and the charge of the entire tent. But to the holy vessels and to the altar they shall not approach, that they not die, they as well as you. They shall be joined to you and safeguard the charge of the tent of meeting for the entire service of the tent, and an alien shall not approach you. You shall safeguard the charge of the holy and the charge of the altar, and there shall be no more wrath against the children in Israel. And I, behold, I have taken your brethren, the Levites, from among the children of Israel. To you they are presented as a gift for Hashem to perform the service of the tent of meeting. You and your sons with you shall safeguard your priesthood regarding every matter of the altar and within the curtain, and you shall serve. I have presented your priesthood as a service that is a gift, and any alien who approaches you shall die.
You again, והזר הקרב יומה, thank you.
That's a very interesting difference,
Yes,
because Ruth, in your book, it says alien, and
says-
the good translation says common man.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's a world of difference there.
Yeah,
Well,
but
alien has the implication of zar, of stranger.
exactly,
Right,
alien
yes.
is more accurate because in Hebrew it's a zar. But zar is any Israel, anyone who is not Kohen and Levi.
Yeah, yeah. We wouldn't talk that way in English, but it does have a closer meaning.
But shouldn't it be just a stranger?
Yeah,
It could
I
be
would-
stranger, but
Yeah.
but usually when you use the word alien in English, you're talking about someone from a different country,
right.
not from your community, but from, let's say, like if you're living in the United States, somebody from Europe is an alien.
Right.
They
Or
are
somebody from,
stranger.
Saturn is an alien, but
From Maadim.
but somebody not from your country,
Yeah.
but from another country, and a stranger could also be taken to mean someone you don't know. A stranger you don't know, so it could be somebody from somewhere else.
But in that case,
But a common man is just, anyone from the community who's not specifically Levi.
In the synagogue, we have exactly, Kohen, Levi, and Israel.
I
All the
think,
other.
I think of a stranger in that case
Rivka,
is out of Kohen and Levi. מי שאיננו כהן ולוי, זה כאילו two groups, two groups. Who is not Levi and Cohen are strange from the holy. Everything is holy.
Okay, now I want you to see something very interesting, I think. Look at in verse number 1, and the Lord said unto Aaron. Now this is the second time, and there are only twice that the Lord is addressing Aaron directly and not through Moshe. And the second time is in Leviticus 10, which is, who remember, Leviticus 10 is the death, the terrible, the tragedy of the death of the sons of Aaron. Okay, let's read it because Gershom, would you like to read? It's 1 until here. It's not until 9, but
Yeah.
all these, yeah, I shorted it.
And Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, took each of them his censer and put fire therein, and laid incense thereon, and offered strange fire before the Lord, which he had not commanded them. And there came forth fire before the Lord and devoured them, and they died before the Lord.
And then in 8, after the after it says Vaidom Aaron, this strong phrase of Aaron was had to
So strong. Vaidom
yes,
Aaron.
Vaidom
Before
Aaron.
the dead, we can't see nothing.
Yes, and
Standing before death and son's dead, we can, the person can't see nothing. He was so shocked, so behelem, he can't say nothing.
okay.
זה נפלא,
Gershom,
Vaidom Aaron.
8 and 9, please.
And the Lord spoke unto Aaron, saying, Drink no wine nor strong drink, thou nor thy sons with thee, when ye go into the tent of meeting, that ye die not. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations.
Thank you. So the explanation of this, according to what I read, is that it is so serious and it is so severe that the Lord addressed Aaron directly because of the coming close to the sanctity is like maybe the one of the highest thing that people of Israel have to be aware of. Have to be not aware, not only aware.
Have to take it very seriously.
Yes, to take it very, very seriously. And it is dangerous. It is just dangerous to go close to the Kodesh.
It reminds me, Ora, of thou shalt not see my face. There's this whole idea of not seeing God's face, and then God passes when Moses goes into the cleft of the rock, and God passes, and he can only see God's back. And I wonder in those days if all of that was their way of handling this transition of belief from worshiping a statue, an idol, something tangible, to this very sophisticated idea of worshiping a force in nature, and getting people used to the idea that it's not something tangible, that it's not something that they see.
I remember this idea of yours, and I remember that you said it when we spoke about Vayera Kvod Adonai, what it is Vayera Kvod Adonai. Maybe it's the transition situation between a tangible statue to an abstractive God.
Right.
I want to see something, please.
מיד ורק היא תסיים ואז אתה. כן, רות?
I just wanted to say that if you think of that whole concept and what was so revolutionary about it, I mean, it must have been a big transition for people. And so you can understand that it was problematic, and that our ancestors tried to put it in terms that people could relate to.
Yes, maybe. And let alone that this abstract God is a very dangerous God. He kills his workers, even though, I mean, he kills them in every arrow they do. Sorry. רבקה, מה רצית לומר?
And I want to see here, there is the, איך אומרים חשיבות? שכחתי. The חשיבות.
Importance.
The importance of parents to educate their sons. Here we see that the Kohanim, the priests and the Levites, there is their responsibility, but they have also the responsibility to educate their sons. אבות על בנים, פה יש לנו. הילדים, the sons, הם נענשו הילדים, הוא מטיל את האחריות על האבות.
You think that we have here, תישא עוון
את הבנת אותי, אם את יכולה להסביר.
Yeah, I understood, but I'm not sure that this is the issue here. I mean, I really think that verse 1 talks about you will be you and your son, the Kohanim, and Bet Avicha, according to what I found about it, it's Kehat family, okay? It's the grandfather and then Amram, and then you will be the responsible of the Avon here in Hebrew it's Mikdash, but of course it's not exactly Mikdash. It's just a holy thing or holy place or
holy place,
holy tabernacle. It's not the Mikdash like in
no.
And then אתה ובניך איתך תישאו את עוון כהונתכם. If there are, okay, so what he means here is that if there are priests who are not who make mistakes in approaching the sanctity, like if I don't know if you remember, but we talked about once in Leviticus, we talked about the priest with איך אומרים מום, invalid, איך אומרים שיש להם איזשהו disabled priests, for example, are not allowed to work as priest. And I remember we talked about that it is not you know, social, it is not, but we can understand it. There are a list of requirements in order to be a priest, and this is something that is not allowed. And also here I can give you all I didn't bring it, but also in Leviticus, if they are drunk and they approach the sanctity, so, and if they are dressed not properly, and if the high priest, HaKohen HaGadol, if he goes into the Kodesh HaKodashim, not according to the rules. So all these are errors or mistakes that are made by priests. And this is what the first verse talk about. This is what I understand from it. אתה ובניך תישאו את עוון כהונתכם. Priests are the responsible for priests.
פה הבעיה של אתה ובניך, הבנים פה חטאו. למה? הם לא פריסט.
No. They are priests, Aaron and his sons.
אהרון כן, הילדים יהיו אולי פריסט, אבל למה עכשיו הם צריכים לקבל את העונש הזה?
The text means that they are priests now. Aaron is the high priest, but they are אלעזר and
הם מקודשים כאילו, הם מקודשים כמו בית מלוכה כזה, כמו צאצאים של בית מלוכה.
Yes, they are priests, and if they have children and so on.
Okay.
So they are responsible for the other priests.
No, and David Avihu died because they signed.
Yeah, but because they exactly this week I heard a lecture about this. They sinned not because of the lighting of the fire, which was not.
Very good. When
but
God
בקרבתם לפני אדוני, they sinned because they went close to the sanctity.
Approach the sanctuary.
Yes.
When God said the first time to Aaron, he gives the reasons why Nadav and Avihu died. Because he say you have not to make the walk when are you drunk.
No, I think this is Chazal. Ah, in
No.
9 here.
9, yes.
Yes,
ודבר על
יין
נאי
ושיחה.
לאור לאמור, יין ושיחה אל
נכון,
תעשה. It's close
Yes,
to the.
yes.
Only when they are
And then
close.
Chazal said about this that probably, but this is only a speculation, that Nadav and Avihu were drunk. Okay, I think we.
Ora, can I just say
Yes.
one thing? If I understood Rivka's question about why should if the fathers make a mistake, why should the sons suffer? I think it all goes with the idea that they really need to take these commandments seriously, and they need to understand that it's not only going to hurt themselves if they do it wrong, but it's also going to hurt their sons. So that idea that they will be responsible for something bad happening to their sons who did nothing wrong is just to make the penalty more severe and to keep them from transgressing.
I was just saying, yeah, I understand. I was just saying that I'm not sure that in this verse, this idea of Avon Avot, Nose Avon Avot al Banim, I'm not sure about it, because here, I think, and in my understanding is that it's only if a priest, לא משנה איזה כהן, a priest made a mistake or does something wrong with the regulation of the, with the rules of the working in the day. So the other priest must will be responsible about it, and they will be punished.
It's a collective, זה צו קולקטיבי לכל הכהנים, אני הייתי אומרת.
Now, who wants to be a priest?
It seems to me.
Who wants to be prime minister here in Israel? Who wants?
Let's leave it. Okay, מי אמר it seems to me?
It seems to me that what they're talking about here is this is going to be the job of Aaron and his sons. Not that the sons will suffer because Aaron does something wrong, but it's their job too. That's their job.
Yes,
Aaron can't possibly do all of the work of the Kohen by himself.
Yeah, exactly.
He can't be everywhere at the same time. There have to be other priests to do the job. So it seems to me that what they're talking about is that it's going to be your job and your son's job.
Yeah,
and from your father's house.
But your son's job, not because he's the father and Avon Avot al Banim, but because all the Kohanim, because it is like someone said,
a high level of the people. They are a high level. It
goes in well, I forget all the words today. Torasha, Yerusha. Sharon, help me, please. In Torasha, it goes like a kingdom. Inheritance.
Yeah. And מאוד מאוד גזעני, rices, very rices.
No, it's like they are the king and
יוסי, לפני שאתה סוגר בבקשה, אני רוצה לראות, יש פעם עוד ציור, עוד תמונה, אני לא יודעת מה, מימינך. תראה לי קצת את זה. לא, אבל בסוף, לא נפריע לשיעור עכשיו.
לא, השיעור נגמר.
אז בואי תראה לי רגע את זה, זה מקסים, אני לא יודעת. זה ציור, אורה?
כן.
נו, זה גרפיטי.
מה זה יפה?
גרפיטי זה כתוב The Burgers.
אוי, זה יפה, הצבעוניות.
הילדים למדו בבית ספר לאומנויות ברעות.
לא, אבל זה לא
והחבר שלהם עשה את זה.
גם הנכד שלי בוגר רעות. כן.
שבת שלום.
שבת שלום, ותודה רבה.
Thank you very much, Ora.
ביי ביי.
ביי.
Bye.
Happy New Year, Shabbat Shalom.
Happy New Year.
I said, which חג אנחנו? ביי ביי.
And may the force be with you.